Hello YouTube, this is Engineer Pat 5290 coming to you with just a couple of updates. It's not a lot today, but I've got a couple of updates from BNSF for a couple of rebuilds. 3147 and 3120 were XBNs. Those have been rebuilt. I think they're GP rebuilds. I don't know what model they're doing. I think they're GP35s or GP50s. I think they're GP50 rebuilds. Those two have been released from BNSF's rebuilding shops. Um, One thing is for sure that the 2-9s that were involved in the other day's 28N derailment, those two engines were scrapped on site. So those engines have been retired and scrapped and written off the roster. That's the updates right now that we've got on that derailment. Also, I think the cleanup process has just about completed. I haven't received anything else, but I know for sure that the first 7 of the 50 C6Ms that were just released from Fort Worth will be in play, will be put into service from Chattanooga. I did not state that in the previous video, but I thought I would go ahead and just say that real quick so to make sure you guys understand that. But other than that, I don't think there's a lot going on right now. I have not heard anything from Amtrak or Union Pacific on their rebuilds, or if there's any, except 159 was released from Beech Grove, of Genesis that was released from Beech Grove a few weeks ago. That was actually that's been a really good that's been Amtrak's main shop where they do a lot of the work. And speaking of shops, if you guys are wondering what shops do, I want to talk about this for just a minute. There are lots of shops on the railroads. You know, you have service facilities where they just do service on the engines, and you have some that have a back shop where they actually do major repairs and rebuilds. For Norfolk Southern and CSX, first of all, for Norfolk Southern, you have the major repairs you do. It has East End shops, which is Roanoke shops, Chattanooga, and Altoona. They're the three major shops on the NS system that do major repairs and rebuilding. Now, Chattanooga and Altoona, they do repaint, but I think Chattanooga does special paints, I think. I don't know to that, but I do know Altoona is the main paint shop as well on the NS system. Now, for smaller shops, like Pier 6 has a small shop. Let me think here. Chicago has a shop. The shops in Birmingham on NS, that's on the old Southern. They have shops. Atlanta's got a shop. I think they're a service facility. Now for CSX, they have Huntington, Waycross, and Cumberland. Another service facility is in Hamlet. That's part of the old Seaboard shops. Those are still there. They do a complete service and overhaul. I don't think they do overhauls, but I know they do a complete service on the engines. And Hamlet is a pretty significant shop. They've got shops in Selkirk where they do small work. You think Atco Yard in Richmond, I think they have a small shop, but they've mostly been using it for maintenance of way equipment. But I think they do a little locomotive maintenance here and there. Um, I'm thinking now. I think they have shops in Chicago. I think they have shops in Nashville. I don't know these off the top of my head. But Huntington, Cumberland, and Waycross are the main ones on CSX. They're the three main shops. And Norfolk Southern has three main shops: East End, Altoona, and Chattanooga. Chattanooga, I believe, is on the old Southern. The shops in Birmingham are on the old Southern. They're on the old Southern. Um, I don't know any of the other shops that are out there, but there are lots of shops out there that locomotives have to be maintained after so many hours and so many miles on the rails. They will take them and do a complete service. Now at Altoona, they take the engine into the shop. They have 27 tracks at Juniata. They take the locomotive in. They take the prime mover out, completely overhaul it, clean the parts, and replace any parts that could be damaged. And replace anything else that's damaged too, like light bulbs for the ditch lights, anything to do with the batteries and stuff like that. They do it all. And then after the prime mover has been cleaned, they put it back in, hook it back in, and then of course it's all complete. So that's why Juniata and Altoona, East End, and Chattanooga, they're the three core shops on the NS system. It's like with CSX. I mean, CSX, they do all the rebuildings in Huntington. I know they have a paint shop in Huntington. I'm not sure if they have a paint facility in Cumberland. I think they do. I'm not really sure. But I know there was one in Waycross, but I think that one has been shut down. I'm not sure. And plus, Tilford Yard has been shut down too. The whole yard was dug up, and that was a service point. But that's the way the shops work. I thought I would just cover a little bit on that, and also talk about just a few little things that I just have come up right now. But the new wide cab that they're using on the C6Ms is different from the Dash 9W because it has a little more of a peak on the engineer and the conductor side. It's a little more sloped in. I mean, the Dash 9 wide cab is about like this. It's curved in a little bit, has that point on the end of that cab where they can actually see down without having to get up out of the seat and look down. So that's why they're modifying the cab a little bit so it will be easier for the crews. So just thought I would talk about shots for a minute and the new wide cab that's been produced by GE that's used on the C6Ms and the ES44ACs and the Tier 4 locomotives, and also about the shops as well, because I'm sure some of you may have questions about that. But if anybody knows what BNS, I know Union Pacific's main shop is Jenkins Shop, where they do all the repaints and the rebuilds. I don't know what BNSF's main shop is for rebuilding and repainting. If anybody knows about that, please leave me a comment in the description box. I'd love to hear what you have to say. All right, thank you guys for watching. I'm Engineer Pat, and I'll see you next time.